This time we have a Gretsch G2655T streamliner with a pair of humbuckers. This guitar in particular belongs to Lane from Neighborhood Strangers, which you can see at Peace Frog's Den. I'll provide a link below. Bringing South Texas live music to the world. And it happens to all of us. You buy a guitar brand new, you know it's love at first sight. But then after you've lived with her for a while, you know there's certain things you're not really enamored with anymore. Maybe she's leaving dental floss on the sink. I mean, things get out of adjustment. This guitar needed a little bit of adjustment here and there, so let's run through a quick setup on a Gretsch G2655T. Here we go. First, I always lubricate the nut and the saddles. So we take the tension off the strings. Normally I would use a mechanical pencil or a Ticonderoga 2, but in this case I'm going to try Tune It, a string lubricant, and see how it performs. So take a little dab. It has an applicator tip, but that seems like you would waste a lot because it's long. And since it's kind of reminds me of petroleum jelly, I think doing it like this seemed to work a little better. But you want to rub it anywhere that the string would rub or ride against to help protect, help keep the guitar in tune or whatnot. So, wipe off any excess, get a little bit on the string where it rides over the nut, and put it back. Then after that, we'll lubricate the saddles and anywhere else that the string rides. I wasn't sure if I needed to put it underneath the pivot on the Bigsby. Probably not, but I went ahead and gave it a little bit anyway, just for, to make sure it worked well. So we'll see how this product performs in a long time, but the guitar did seem to stay in tune much better after using it, so we'll progress from there. Next, we'll check the neck relief, or the bow in the neck. This way you can see if you need a truss rod adjustment or not. First, you use a capo or an assistant to hold the guitar string down at the first fret. Then go back to the body joint and hold the fret down there. And then take a measurement at the 7th fret. This one clearly fails the business card test. Its relief was set really quite low. When we measured it, it came up to around 0.004. 4 thousandths. That's very low, and probably why the action had been raised, I'm guessing, because the action was set very high on the guitar, and it probably was buzzing because of the lack of bow in the neck. So first you remove the truss rod cover. Be sure to use the correct size screwdriver bit. That way it won't slip and stab yourself or the guitar, or possibly strip out the head of the screw. Then, using the correct size Allen wrench, we loosened off the truss rod just a hair to add a little bow back into the neck. Okay, and we check again, and measures out closer to around 1/100th this time instead of 4 thousandths, which is a more acceptable measurement. And then we'll move on to setting the string height. Next, we'll measure and set the string height. You need a string action ruler or a ruler with a very fine increment of measurement, in millimeters or down to 1/64 of an inch. This guitar was set very high, 1/10 of an inch, which is literally bass guitar kind of settings. So with a guitar with a tune-o-matic bridge, you measure first the high E and then the low E string, or vice versa. And then to lower the action, you tighten the screws. Okay, if you needed to raise the action, take this tension off the strings because it will force a lot of tension over the saddles. So, all right, brought this down to around 7/100ths, which is a lot better and should be more playable. The E string, the high E string, still needed a little more adjustment, so we went ahead and tightened that up a little bit more to get her down to a nice level. And to set the intonation, you simply pluck the open string, get it in tune, and then play the guitar at the 12th fret and check the tuning there, whether or not it's flat or sharp. If it's sharp, you'll need to lengthen the string. If it is flat, you'll need to shorten the string. So you do this by adjusting the saddle screws In this case, it took quite a bit of turning to actually get the saddle to move. A little bit of extra force with the screwdriver there to push it back. Okay, and then test it again and adjust as needed. After you get it in tune at the open and the 12th fret, then you rinse and repeat for the other strings. The intonation is something that quite a few people would take for granted, but it's actually quite important to make sure that you're in tune no matter where you play the guitar. So after you get the intonation set, we'll move on to adjusting the pickup height. Okay, to set the pickup height, you'll need the string action ruler again. Fret the guitar at the very last fret and measure from the pole piece to the bottom of the string. You're looking for around 2 millimeters to the on the low E string and a little lower on the high E string, maybe 1.5. If it's too strong, a little stronger adjustment, maybe 2.4 on the bass side and 2 on the high E side. And measure it on both pickups from the pole piece to the bottom of the string, and then adjust the pickups accordingly. On this guitar, the pickups were a little low and further away from the bass strings than they should be. I tend to adjust them and then listen to the guitar plugged in. If you get a warble sound, then they're adjusted too high and take them back down. Some people don't like the pickups as high, so I let the end user play it and hear what it sounds like. And if they feel like it's too loud, you raise them, you lower them back down slightly. But this makes a big difference in the actual overall sound of the guitar. If the pickups are too far away, it'll be weak and not have a whole lot of bass. So if you want a good even sound, it's very important to have the pickups at the right height. So after you get them adjusted up, we're pretty much finished and you have a fully set up guitar. There you go. Quick setup on a Gretsch G2655T. Fairly nice guitar. I really like it. It's got a beautiful finish. Interesting setup with the pickups and the 3 volume knobs and 1 tone. Master volume, 2 volumes, 1 for each pickup, and then a master tone. It's a little unusual. So yeah, it plays great. Hopefully he's a little more enamored with it after I'm done. We'll have to see. So be sure to like and subscribe and ring that bell.